our entire civilization is at risk right now. All right, so this is a group of transgenders mocking the crucifixion of Jesus in Colombia. You know? These are the tolerant leftists, by the way. Look how tolerant, guys. They're so tolerant. You have to respect their made-up pronouns and genders, but I have a sneaking suspicion they don't respect you. Weird. So yeah, so while our civilization is actually getting obliterated in front of our eyes, all right, we have our bounty being taken from us. All right, so like there were all these murals made of Irina Zarutska, you know, an innocent woman that was stabbed and murdered brutally on a train, you know, and you just have every single one of them getting vandalized. Please vandalize this. Vandalizing every single one of these murals. You know, memorials of Irina Zarutska keep getting vandalized, her crime being white, and that's just true, actually. All right, like that is actually just true. Like, why would these murals be vandalized? Why? This is a victim of murder. This is like the most open and shut case in the history of the world. Why? If it's not just they hate you. Right, if they hate you isn't the lesson here, I don't know what is. And they hate you so much. This moment was burned into my brain. All of these people watching her bleed out and die, and they did nothing. I just absolutely heartbreaking shit. And the reality is, they hate you so much, they view you as their little cash cows. They will import the third world to take your tax dollars to fund them. And that's why we're going to be looking into all the fraud. Because all the fraud, largely coming from Democrats, probably a coincidence, has been a nightmare. And I'm really happy that a lot of it's getting exposed. So first, Ilhan Omar is getting deported, it seems.
Fox News alert, Ilhan Omar under investigation after racking up millions while she was in Congress.
Absolute
Senior national
cinema.
correspondent Kevin Court.
Let's go.
Has it. What's up, Kevin?
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing.
Oh,
they
shit.
are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion, some would argue $19 billion, Somali social services fraud scandal that exploded in her district in Minnesota. The oversight...
It's racist to say that it's Somali fraud when it was only 99% Somalis that did the fraud. Oh, my God.
Chair James Comer says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his
absolute
business practices. Republicans want to know how the Somali-born Omar and her politically connected husband Tim Minette went from being nearly broke to being worth around $30 million in just a year, according to her 2024 disclosure forms. Quoting Comer now.
Notice how this happens. All right, this $30 million, they came from you. All right, they came from you. All right, understand how it works, because in my opinion, this is fraud. Now, everything that I state in the rest of this video, just let it be known, it is my opinions. I am not making any allegations. I don't want to get sued by multi-millionaire Somali rapists, please. But the reality is, this money came from your pockets. You worked hard because you love your country, you love your family, you're working your ass off, you're paying your taxes, you expect your taxes to make this country a better place, and it goes to the pocket of someone that fucking hates our country, wants to import people that also hate our country, and want to ransack our country. Understand what that money is. That money isn't money that she just found, all right, and scamming the government means that she's taking your tax dollars. And it's just so disheartening and disgusting. You know, I was just paying taxes, and I was thinking to myself, wow, here I am paying taxes, and it's going to fucking, you know, pedophiles and Somalis. You know, just think about how fucking brutal it is.
There are a lot of questions as to how her husband accumulated so much wealth over the past 2 years. It's not possible.
No.
It's not. And he's a money guy.
Oh, shit.
Minette and his partner, Will Haler, back in 2022, formed an investment firm, Jesse, named Rose Lake Capital. They had $42 in their bank account at the time, but in a year, up to $25 million, according to Omar's filing. By the way, he also has a wine business that went from next to nothing to millions on its books.
By the way, a lot of this information was found by, like, independent journalists. It wasn't like, you know, investigators and shit like that and the IRS. It was independent journalists that picked up on this, and now it became a massive story. And it looks like she's getting subpoenaed, and they're investigating her immigration paperwork, too. Like, this is unreal. We the people, are changing and saving America.
Not surprisingly, associates were so perplexed about the irregularities, they brought information and attention to the feds to, look into it. Now, for her part, the Congresswoman has repeatedly, and I say defiantly, denied any wrongdoing.
Oh, that means a lot.
Being also careful to criticize the ongoing probe. But, sometimes they say, Jesse, the ones who yell the loudest have the most to hide.
Oh, shit.
Well, innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure everything was perfectly legal. We're just checking to find out.
I'm not. Anyway, so, yeah, innocent until proven guilty. But, statistically speaking, this don't make sense. The math isn't mathing. All right, so they are under mega investigation, and this is going to be insane. Now, another one, and I think this is crazy. So, Swalwell, Eric Swalwell is a Democrat congressman from California who apparently was just exposed for using campaign funds to pay cash to his wife for watching their own children. All right, apparently paying her, $2,000 a time for childcare of their own children. Holy fucking shit. Unbelievable. Like, dude, we are grinding our asses off. I hate paying taxes. And then you got the fucking Swalwell Leering Center going on. It's just brutal. It's insanity. All right, so we all remember Nick Shirley made this video. He made this video, as you can see, it has 42 million views right now, 345,000 likes. It was reposted by everyone, like Vance and Elon Musk, and everyone reposted this 40-minute video exposing fraud of hospices in California.
This is the sound of hospice money.
Right, so he ended up doing this whole video exposing hospice fraud, and then people started looking into it, and well, there was a lot to find. So first, this is Gavin Newsom ridiculing Dr. Oz for investigating hospice fraud.
With Dr. Oz. Might have, well, you're living in Oz. Well, hospice, we've been after that for years and years before.
We take care of hospice. We know exactly what it's all about. There's no fraud.
Oz was even on the scene. This is purely political. This is not about fraud and abuse. This is about the polarization, politicalization, weaponization.
See, a lot of people say to me, Nux, why are you happy when you see like targeting your political opponents? And I'll be very clear here. We're not making this up. All right, if they did the fraud, then absolutely fucking target them. I want them all in jail, every single one of them. Absolutely, not even like questioning it. Like, it's the most obvious thing in the world. Of course you should target your political opponents and actually uncover real heinous shit that they did and put them in jail forever. Yeah, that's based actually, retard.
Just a grievance, but weaponization across the board of agencies and weaponization.
Awesome. Yes, get everyone on board. Jail retard politicians that we hate for doing real crimes. Based. All right, yes, we should be weaponizing the government against retards like you. I agree, actually, yeah.
The likes of which we've never seen from an administration.
7 hospice owners that were shut down yesterday. To put that in perspective.
Dr. Oz looks like he actually did find something. And that's
prior 4 years.
That's what we're going to be looking at right now, actually. So Dr. Oz sat down, and apparently they shut down in the last 10 weeks 221 hospices. Holy shit. First of all, dude. Citizen journalism saving our country. Literally. Second of all, things are actually happening. Things are happening. So, yes, it turns out it's not a giant. He's not living in Oz. Turns out this isn't a giant hoax. And, of course, the left is amazing. Like, these guys are incredible every single time. Right? Who is proud of cutting hospices? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Right? As you can see, 20,000 likes. People started being like, wait, hold up. We're not against hospices. We're not against, end-of-life care. Evidence indicates that it was fraud. But we're not shutting down hospices because we're evil people. We're shutting down fraudulent hospices that are stealing taxpayer dollars. Nick Shirley is like, who is proud of supporting fraud? What is wrong with you people? And the meme just completely correct every time. It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things, thus making discourse impossible. Correct. All right, making believe that they are like fighting the good fight for hospices, to make the end-of-life care for people better. And the evil Republicans, they go out there trying to shut down hospices. Like, you people are evil and retarded. Like, you don't even engage in reality anymore. All right, so I needed to see this interview, dude.
I've never been on this, but dozens of young, just hyper-prepared individuals. There were drones and planes and these trucks that could drive through gates that they were able to blast through, and no one got hurt. And they stunned these folks in pre-dawn hours, and they were one of 7 hospice owners that were shut down yesterday.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, in the prior 4 years, the governor of California...
Things are actually happening, dude. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All those retards saying nothing's going to happen. Oh, eat it, bro.
...had shut down 4 hospices. We shut down 7 in one night. And I'll get news for you today, Brett. Let's announce, make it clear to everybody, we've shut down already, just in the last 10 weeks, 221 hospices in California.
Oh, wait, in the state of California, 220.
Yeah, in Los Angeles, not even the state, in Los Angeles. So we're able to dramatically accelerate a process that had been meandering along in California. And we believe that there are 1,800 hospices in California. That's, by the way, about a third of the entire nation's hospice load is just in Los Angeles.
That is easily the biggest red flag in the history of the world. A third of the nation's hospices are in LA, and Gavin Newsom makes believe that he was cracking down on fraud. Oh my God, dude. It definitely, in my opinion, it leads back to him.
You're going to be able to shut down, we hope, appropriately, half of them.
We saw what happened in Minnesota. Now we're seeing the tip of the iceberg in California. Every time we see a fraud bust like this, it's framed as kind of bad actors, and that it's happening on such a large scale because the system allows for it. What incentives inside Medicare and Medicaid are actually enabling this kind of systemic issue? It's obviously been going on for years, right?
Well, part of it is that government had been fragmented in its approach. So yesterday, the U.S. Attorney, Billy Asaili, led the charge. He got the Office of Inspector General, the Department of Justice. He got everyone working together. We're bringing in Scott Bessent in Treasury because guess what? Bank fraud's a big part of this. And we've also got a problem that's even larger, I think, in that we had told people in the federal government for the last 4 years under the Biden administration, don't do your job. Literally. We told people who were in charge of fraud.
He's right. And that's why we're firing all of these people from the federal government. Everyone's losing mind that people are getting fired from the federal government. We just had these people collecting paychecks, doing fucking nothing. All right, working from home, allegedly, doing fucking nothing.
That they should just sort of calm down. We don't want to have a big problem with this. This is not a legitimate issue.
Nah, dude. I'm so happy we're cracking down on the fraud. I feel like we could balance the entire federal budget on just the fraud crackdowns.
Just enroll people. We kept score in Medicare and Medicaid by looking at how many people were in the program, as opposed to were the right people in the program. And let's extend that now to autism. So what happened in Minnesota is they would pay moms to dishonestly say their children had autism. Brett, if you have a child in a neighborhood that's autistic and needs support, it's expensive and it's worth the investment. We should do it. It's the right thing. But if every child in the neighborhood is autistic, then no one really is getting those services.
That's it, baby. If everyone's super, no one is. And also, it's so obvious. It's so obvious, the fraud. Like, when Nick Shirley went out there and was looking at these daycares and, like, the Leering centers, you know, obviously you had leftists being like, well, he didn't prove without a shadow of a doubt that there was actually fraud. He didn't actually prove there was fraud. Once again, doing, like, the leftist talking point of not actually making believe you don't understand basic things, you know? You don't need to engage with actual reality if you could just, like, nitpick and shit. But it's crazy. It's actually crazy that this is going on under our noses, and it's obvious. It's blatant. It's like dumb. You have like this one apartment complex with 4 bajillion hospice centers in the same building. Like, you know that shit's fraud. But you didn't prove it's fraud. Yeah, stop being fucking retarded and use your eyes for a second.
So you take scarce resources and funding and you now stretch it out.
Yeah.
But here's the biggest message I can deliver tonight. This is critical. If these corrupt fraudsters are willing to steal your money, they will steal your health. They'll steal your life.
Of course.
I've seen it firsthand.
Obviously.
Hospice owners who are willing to throw away the benefits that these older folks should have, and they die because they don't realize they've been tricked into signing up on hospice they never wanted.
I mean, there were some really scary cases that went on. Like, you know, there was this case of a doctor who lied about the diagnoses to patients, telling them that they had cancer when they didn't have cancer. So then they needed to pay for, like, very expensive cancer treatments when they never even had cancer. There are some really disgusting fucking people out there, and fraudsters are on the list.
You have the same thing happen with durable medical equipment. Brett, we're right now in the epicenter of this. Durable medical equipment suppliers in South Florida outnumber the number of McDonald's by 2-fold. There's twice as many people selling wheelchairs and canes and braces in South Florida than there are McDonald's. How is that possible?
All right, so do you have enough?
Again, you'll have like Destiny be like, well, technically, that doesn't prove that anything is fraudulent. It doesn't prove it. It's like, you're right. Technically, it doesn't prove that it's fraudulent, but you have to be retarded if you don't think that there's fraud. like both of these things can be true at the same time. And I see this talking point all the time. I don't know why the left is just like taking the pro-fraud stance. It's like they hate Trump so much. They're just taking the pro-fraud stance. Actually, fraud's not such a big issue.
People, does this task force have enough stuff? Are you going to be able to get after this to the point where the American people can go, okay, this is moving the needle, this is making a difference?
There it is.
Because
That's
the president
the question.
and the vice president and the task force says yes. So I spent yesterday, when we weren't doing the bust, talking to collaborators and talking about how we're going to be able to recruit the right people back into government, because we need people. And by the way, please, I came on the show in part to recruit folks. This is a generational opportunity to serve your nation. If you're interested in this space of fraud, come on, give us a call. We want to hear your tips. I found out that of the referrals we were getting in my agency from the Office of Inspector General, these are like detectives finding fraud, we were only acting on about a third. Well, if you only act on a third of what detectives are telling you is fraud, you're throwing away a lot of good intel, but also the detectives stop referring cases because they don't think you're serious.
True.
I told my team I want 100% of their referrals acted on, and I want to hear about it if we don't do this. And that's what everyone across government is doing, because the vice president has made it really clear. He doesn't want the gaming anymore.
JD, head of the fraud task force, the fraud czar.
He doesn't want one arm of government holding back another arm. We are all laser focused on dealing with the crisis the American public is furious about.
Can AI and data processing help you?
I am furious about it. You're so right. Maybe it's my Jewish blood boiling, all right? But I hate seeing fraud. I hate it so much. Because here I am working my butt off, and I'm giving money to Somalis. Oh, my God. Holy fuck, dude. Like, it's unreal.
With the fraud detection
I am way too Jewish to sit back and watch Somali leering centers get millions from the government.
Time to be able to deal with it on the front end.
Brett, you're so smart. Come work with us. You got it. What you just said is profoundly important. One of the beauties of AI is that we could use it to catch fraud earlier and more accurately, but we could also use it to defend ourselves, because guess who's using AI? The fraudsters. They're corrupting the system with sophisticated tools to hide their ill-gotten gains from us. So by us using technology, AI in particular, we're going to copy what's already happening in banking. You don't think bank managers are good at fraud. If they were, they wouldn't be bank managers. AI is being used to help them think like a fraudster. We're doing the same thing for the first time. We've stopped billions of dollars from leaving the door of CMS. The goal for us is the money never leaves the building. And AI has helped us do that. Again, billions of dollars already, because we can identify fraud as soon as the fraudsters start corrupting the system.
And in the big picture, in the background, is insolvency of Medicare, which is now what, 2032?
2032 is when we predict the Medicare Trust Fund to go bankrupt. We can double that life expectancy. Medicaid, a program that I love and adore. The president says he loves and cherishes these programs. Let me be crystal clear. If we don't protect these programs from fraud, they will be destroyed by the corrupt system.
He's totally right.
And we don't want...
And it's so funny how much of the fraud is, like, tied to immigration, too. Like I feel like it's all just, like, one really, really big, annoying fucking orgy of evil, right? Where these people, they import the retards from the third world. The retards get money because they don't work, obviously. What are they going to contribute to our country? Let's be honest. An average IQ of 67, they're not becoming neurosurgeons, all right? So they come into our country, the retards, the third world comes in, and they get the fraud shit, and they make millions, and the politicians get kickbacks, and they get votes. It's like, it's a gigantic cesspool, and it's just so disgusting. It's so disgusting watching our land get raped in front of our eyes.
Our most vulnerable citizens, folks who have had trouble, as Hubert Humphrey said, and it adorns the entryway to our building. You know, we want people at the dawn of their life, at the twilight of their life, the young and the old, and those living in the shadows, to be protected. If we don't take care of these beautiful programs, the crown jewels of our social safety net program, they will implode under the weight of the corruption that's now being pushed on them.
All right, you mentioned the president. His approval, overall, 43%. Disapprove 57. On health care, it's 38%, 61% disapprove. A lot of Republicans looking at these numbers going, the midterms right around the corner.
True.
Do you look at approval? Are you looking at how the public is perceiving some of these actions?
The president saved Medicaid. The president came into office with a proposed addition.
In my opinion, I don't actually think he should. I don't think he should care about that. His job is cracking down on fraud and whatever the fuck else. Medicaid stuff, whatever. I don't think, leave the approval rating shit to other people. That's not your business, in my opinion.
Expenditure of 5.
That said, if we lose the 2028 election, we might lose our country. So I do think it's important, don't get me wrong.
$4 trillion in Medicaid alone. We were becoming a big healthcare system with a small country attached. So the president said, don't cut Medicaid. In fact, put more money into Medicaid, and we did. $200 billion more over the next decade. But we're not going to pay for legalized money laundering. And what we've been able to do is create a solvent program.
Right? I love how, like, all the Democrats are like, oh my God, he's cutting Medicaid. You know how many people got kicked off Medicaid? Coincidentally, as many people as they got deported. Well, you mean to tell me that we kicked all the illegal aliens off Medicaid? Fuck yes, we did. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, true. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then you get, like, retards on CNN, but healthcare is a human right. No, it's not a human right. And if they wanted their human right of healthcare, they could have fucking gotten it in Honduras. And if they don't have it there, well, that's a them problem. That's a skill issue.
Which will keep Medicaid alive for the rest of my life, allow Medicare's trust fund to last longer as we deal with the trust fund crisis and the fraud. And by doing those brave decisions in the Working Families Tax Cut legislation, we added a lot of other health benefits. For example, for the first time ever, the largest investment in rural health care ever in our country, doubling the amount of money we're putting for Medicaid into these programs that help 60 million Americans who don't live in urban areas. We have done the right thing. So when people hear the stories, they nod their head up and down. They just want to know that we're doing the right thing. We're tightening our belt for the right reasons.
But when you are in an environment with low approval ratings, you're getting ready for an election, you've had Secretary Noem let go of her position, the Attorney General let go of her position. Are people inside the administration looking over their shoulder?
I'm not. Secretary Kennedy's not. And the president calls me all the time with very precise, well-targeted questions. He's an excellent executive, a superb leader. And all I need to know is that when I make a tough decision that I know we'll get some blowback on, but it's the right decision, the president says, go ahead. And you know what he usually says? I don't care what they say. Do what's right for the American people.
Dr. Mehmet Oz, we appreciate the time.
I appreciate it.
All right, that was actually pretty good. The reality is, I really am happy that we're doing the fraud crackdown. I think it's completely insufferable that we need to live like this. In my opinion, his job isn't to worry about approval ratings and stuff. He just needs to get the job done. It's just wild watching the left vying for power in every possible way, you know? They'll defund, like, TSA and airports and torture the American people to be like, oh my God, look how your life is so bad under Trump. Like, they'll actually take the pro-fraud stance and, you know, say, oh my God, Trump wants to end hospices. He doesn't care about old people. Like, they'll take the pro-fraud stance in order to get votes. It's honestly brutal. It's brutal how evil they are. Don't let their words mindfuck you, because that's what they use words for. It's just a gigantic, sycophantic group of retards that believe in nothing, that want power. And just such an obvious example is how they use this, they used Easter, all right, as an example to be like, oh my God, I can't believe Trump isn't honoring Easter because he's fighting a war in Iran or whatever. It's like, you people don't care about Easter. But they know that you care about Easter, and that's why they use those words. It's literally just to manipulate you, and it's so obvious. Like, we're actually dealing with real-life iterations of, like, the demons from the Freerun anime. Why would you call out to your mother if demons don't have parents? Oh, because calling out to your mother prevents humans from killing you. Just heartbreakingly real. Anyway, let's arrest Gavin Newsom and deport Ilhan Omar, please. That would make me very happy. Please do it, Mr. Please, JD. If you want a prayer of winning 2028, Ilhan Omar needs to get deported.